Austin Jackson made his long-awaited return to the Miami Dolphins offensive line, stepping back in at right tackle against the New Orleans Saints, and his performance couldn't have come at a more critical time. With 6 games left on the schedule and one already behind us, these final weeks are a massive evaluation window. Miami needs to know whether Jackson can finish this season playing at an above-average level, and on Sunday, he took a strong first step. And right here, before we go any deeper, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends, and of course, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, back to football. The Saints don't exactly boast an elite defensive front, but Jackson's level of play still mattered a lot. Miami needs stability at tackle, especially with Jackson entering the final year of his contract. His 3-year extension, worth roughly $35 to $36 million, runs through 2026. He carries a $9.8 million base salary next season, plus a roster bonus due on March 13th. Cutting him wouldn't create meaningful cap relief, so any decision on his future must be based strictly on performance, not finances. That's why his return was so important. And when you look at the tape, it wasn't just solid, it was encouraging. Jackson showed no sign of regression after the injury. Instead, he displayed the traits that once made him a first-round pick: quickness off the snap, strong movement in space, and the athletic ability to reach the perimeter on tosses, pulls, and sweeps. He was effective in pass protection and decisive in the run game. If you watched the film or checked the analytics, you probably saw the same thing I did: a right tackle who looked sharp, confident, and fully locked in. If I had to grade his return, I'd give him a strong B. On a 100-point scale, somewhere around 85 to 86 feels right. Not perfect, but absolutely the level Miami needs from him right now. This play here, one of several impressive snaps, is a perfect example of how his athleticism and physicality shine when he's on his game. When you turn on the film, one thing becomes clear immediately. Austin Jackson wasn't just good, he was consistently sealing the edge with authority. Every time Miami ran a toss or sweep to his side, he locked down the outside defender, turning him inward and opening a clean runway for the pullers and for Devon Achane to explode into space. But this play, in particular, stands out. Miami lined up at the 40-yard line on an inside run, and Jackson teamed up with Cole Strange, who quietly had one of his best games of the season, to create movement nearly 4 yards downfield. And look at what that did for the back. The entire right side opened up like a canyon. Jonah Savaiania delivered a powerful block, Aaron Brewer climbed to the second level, and that double team between Strange and Jackson completely removed the defender from the lane. Jackson even got a piece of Demario Davis as the play developed, giving the running back a clean 9-yard burst straight up the middle. This wasn't a one-off highlight. This was the story of the entire game. Snap after snap, Jackson showed poise, strength, and control, the kind of performance you don't typically see from someone shaking off a long injury absence. Coming back after missing months is hard enough. Playing above-average football immediately upon return? That's rare, and Jackson delivered exactly that. His presence at right tackle brings Miami's offensive line close to full strength. The only missing piece right now is James Daniels, who remains out until Week 14 against the Jets. And here's something else worth noting. Cole Strange just posted his highest grade of the season, second highest on the entire team this week. Is that a coincidence? Maybe. But it sure feels like Jackson's stability on the right side helped elevate the entire unit, especially the lineman working right beside him. That's where Jackson's value becomes even more interesting. His strong play doesn't just help Miami today, it opens up real options for the future. If he keeps performing at this level, Miami can confidently say, he's our right tackle in 2026. But there's another path too. A high-performing, athletic, experienced tackle entering a contract year? That's prime trade value. If the Dolphins decide to reset or upgrade the position, they could move Jackson in the offseason and gain a draft pick to help build the roster. And based on how he looked against the Saints, that conversation becomes very real. As the season heads into its final stretch, every storyline grows sharper, every decision heavier, and every roster move more meaningful. And with Miami pushing toward the postseason, the situation surrounding Austin Jackson becomes one of the most important questions facing this team. Because here's the truth. If Jackson keeps playing at this level, the Dolphins will have a tough decision to make: keep him long-term or move him while his value rises. And the reason is simple. After the Saints game, Jackson revealed that the injury keeping him sidelined was turf toe, and that surgery might be necessary once the season ends. You have to respect the toughness it takes to battle through something like that. You have to respect a player fighting to get back on the field when his team needs him most. But this is also the hard reality of the NFL. Availability matters just as much as talent. When Jackson is healthy, he is a difference maker at right tackle. We saw it throughout 2023. We saw it early in 2024. And we saw it again the moment he stepped back on the field this past Sunday. His impact is obvious. The run game improves. The pocket stabilizes. The entire offense feels more balanced. But you can't build a long-term foundation on a player who struggles to stay in uniform. And that's why Miami must consider every option. If Jackson continues to play at a high level down the stretch, his trade value could peak at the perfect time. A strong finish, a healthy offseason, and a full year left on his contract make him an appealing acquisition for teams looking to bolster their offensive line. If you're Miami, that could mean turning a risky situation into a draft pick and into long-term stability. And realistically, the Dolphins may have to find their next right tackle sooner rather than later. With limited cap space projected for the offseason, signing a top-tier free agent isn't likely. A mid-level veteran could be an option, but the draft feels like the most realistic path forward. This class features several intriguing prospects who could develop into long-term starters. Spencer Fano, Caden Proctor, and Francis Mauigoa, all players with the size, athleticism, and upside to step into a right tackle role early in their careers. It's a tough situation. You want to believe in Jackson. You want to trust his talent. You want to build with him. But the NFL isn't built on hope. It's built on reliability. And Miami has to weigh that carefully as they push toward the future. Miami has options in this upcoming draft, and that's a good thing, because offensive tackle should be one of their top priorities. There are several prospects who fit what the Dolphins want. Athletic, powerful linemen capable of anchoring the right side for years. And with 5 picks inside the top 100, Miami is in a great position to strengthen the trenches early. Right now, the Dolphins hold the 12th overall selection, a massive leap from where they were just weeks ago when they sat near the top of the draft. Winning 4 out of 5 games will do that. And while some fans might feel torn about climbing out of range for certain elite prospects, the truth is Miami still has a real chance to land difference makers. This roster has needs, real, long-term needs, and drafting well can reshape the future. Wide receiver in round 1 feels unlikely. Miami doesn't need to spend premium capital there. But the other position groups? Those are absolutely in play. Edge rusher is a major priority, especially with Chop Robinson as a long-term cornerstone but still needing more talent around him. Right tackle is clearly a focus. Cornerback depth will become essential for the next era of this defense. And depending on how the board falls, one of the top safeties in the class could also be the answer. There are impact players projected in the teens, guys like Tennessee's James McCoy, LSU's Mansour Delane, or even one of the dominant offensive tackles if they slide. And that's before even mentioning the standout tight end from Oregon, a player who could give Miami a much-needed threat in the middle of the field. So no, Dolphins fans shouldn't panic about draft position. Missing the playoffs hurts. It always does. But even from the 12th spot, Miami can add a foundational player at edge, offensive line, or cornerback. And honestly, that might be exactly what this team needs before making any future decisions at quarterback. Build the foundation first. Strengthen the roster. Then find the passer who can take you the rest of the way, whether he comes through the draft, a trade, or somewhere unexpected. That's how championship teams are built. And for Miami, that journey continues the moment the clock starts on draft night.